Alright everyone, Kabari here. Last night I started working on a new song. It's very minimalistic house, more like stuff you would listen to at 4 a.m. Rather than at midnight, so not so high energy, more like after hours type of stuff. And I'm quite happy with the elements that I have, but so far it's just a loop, a 16-bar loop, and I now want to turn it into a proper song, so arrangement, structuring, adding elements, removing elements, these things. So I thought I'd just take you along and record my thought process about doing it, and maybe hopefully at the end I have a finished song that you can then enjoy, that I will upload to SoundCloud or maybe even Spotify. So yeah, follow me along. Let's see where it's going. Alright, we're here in Ableton now. Let's have a look what we have. We have a drum beat. I will first play it to you, and then I will talk a little bit about the individual elements. Okay, you see, in this track I mostly work in audio for now. I dropped in small samples and then rearranged them, processed them a little bit and put them into a loop. So for example, the hi-hat was like this, but as you can see with the waveform, I made them louder and less loud, and then in the end I just did Command J and moved them into a loop. Similar stuff with the sticky thing. Rimshot, I think it is. But let's start with the elements. So we have the kick. Pretty standard. 909 kick, slightly processed to make it sound the way I want it to sound. Then one of 3 hi-hats. Very dry and not processed at all. Then this hi-hat groove that I just showed you briefly. Followed by a straight hi-hat, so this is then the 3rd hi-hat. Hitting every time the kick hits, so like this. And then together with the other 2 hi-hats, it turns into this group. Then for the claps, I have 2 claps and 1 rimshot, so this is the clap. Standard 909 clap with a little bit of reverb. I have a basic stock Ableton Live reverb as a sound effect, and then I just dialed in how much reverb I want to have for the individual drum elements. So that's the clap then. I have a Max for Live device clap that I automate as well. Now you can see the sloppiness will increase. It's getting some like a doubling effect. And then rimshot. As you can hear, there's some delay on it, not just reverb. Again, I use the stock device by Ableton, the echo. And then all of it together sounds like this again. This is something I forgot to tell you about. I have another Max for Live device that's called the Clang. Just making this video game type of sound. It sounds like this. I filtered it to be not so present, and then what I did is I recorded something. I recorded this with a lot of reverb to get this here. I reversed it, so you know, a trick that is quite common. You do this into a reverb and then you reverse the recording. Together it leads into the next on the fourth part of the loop here. And then cuts off when the next loop starts, which I think is quite cool. Yeah, lots of 909. Here I extended the group by some 606. Made mostly toms and cymbals. And at the end this little snare thing. And it's a lot of stuff. So I would not play all the elements at the same time. So that's the first thing I want to work on. I want to build up the drum groove and see which elements I want to add and which ones I want to take away at what point to fill out the whole song structure, because I think it's a little bit much. Okay, so let's see. What I copied all of it now for like 33 or 32 bars, and I will piece by piece add in elements and see how I like it. In the beginning, songs this way often start with the groove but without a kick, so I decided to, for now, go with 2 of 3 hi-hats and see how it sounds like, and then the rim shot. At this point, what I don't like is this part here. So I will just copy the first piece so that it's only at the second loop will add this variation. And what I also don't like at the moment is the delay on this. I will turn down the echo, keep the reverb, and then we have this. Okay, still there's a little thing that I don't like, the type of reverse sounding thing. Okay, the reverse thing is here, that's fine. I don't like to have it on the 1. Let's try it again. What I try to achieve here is like, it is predictable but not too predictable, and that will keep it interesting for these 16 seconds. Basically what I can do now is I delete or deactivate the things that I don't use, which I can see here is a kick, it's this hi-hat, and it's the clap, and it's the second clap. And the dang I also don't have at the moment, although I could think about introducing the dang at the end here, but this one I don't want. Let's see how this sounds. Okay, now let me do this at some later step. So I move this over and I copy this, because at this point I know I will do the same, but add the kick. Let's go here and activate the kick, check the transition. What could be cool is like to have the kick 1 earlier to add a little surprise. So psychologically what that does is like you know a new element will come because you can count, and this is like counting music, and you realize, okay, there's a kick, but then a couple seconds later it's adding already another element, and I think that adds to the interest to it. I think we can gradually increase the echo. I'm not sure if it's groovy enough the way it's set. Let's see. Alright, and we're already here in this section. Let's see if we can add more elements to it. Which ones can we add? I think at this point there needs to be at least 1 clap. So let's look it here and see. I stick with these every second ones, otherwise it's too much video games. So these highs I keep for some point later where I need to add more energy, like in the middle of the song. So let's deactivate them. Then I think we can do again this build up here. So we have 2, like 8 bars without a kick, then kick and snare. Before the before the drop, let's remove the elements, and then when it's the 33 mark we put everything in. That is, I think, a good standard way to do these things. This clap we don't want at this point. We take out the kick. Maybe it's too much. Let's see. Okay, this doesn't seem right here. I think what I should do so it's not annoying me that much is I should turn this into audio. Now it works. It's bounced to audio. Looks good. So I did not use the 606 at all. Let's see if that is something that makes it more intense. And then only add in the extra hi-hats here at the end. And then I think it's time to remove stuff again, but keep the hi-hat. That is too much to remove. That's an okay idea. Okay, so where are we at the moment? We have the 1 bar to 32 or to the beginning of 33 is basically the intro, 1 minute intro, then 1 minute the main part, and then would be a breakdown until it comes the main part again, and then the outro. So mostly copy paste, maybe with some additional elements in the second main part to keep it interesting. But for now, let's see if the drums are interesting enough to carry on for 2 minutes. Okay, sounds good. So you might heard it. What I did is I lengthened the transients here. So basically before it was cut off here, got shorter. And for that part, I added some more intensity. So you can imagine like it's rather high here. Then it increases. It increases even more. The intensity increases even more. Then it lowers down a little bit and then we have the breakdown. Alright, so enough for the drums for now. What else do we have here? I recorded some Model D things that I have here in a loop already arranged. Let's listen to this. Very surprising and uplifting that I want to add in the second breakdown to confuse and to keep the listener interesting. So I don't have that for here. Another thing I have from the Moog is this little bits here. Could play around with delays on this, so let's see later. I have this grand piano with some processing. So let's have a listen to how it sounds without processing. It's just hitting every time the snare hits. Not so interesting. I wanted to make it sound originally like in reggae. That's why I came up with the delay idea. It's not really like in reggae, but let's listen to how it sounds like with the processing that I decided to use. So with the beat, it's static, the beat is groovy, together it extends the groove. Let's see where we could introduce it. So where could I start with it? Maybe already here, let's see. Okay, I think I will do it like this. How far it will be owned? This feedback thing here, this is, I don't know when I recorded this, but it's not supposed to be like that. I think this is something we can repeat. And then for the drop down, we can use this. Let's listen to it in context. But first, let's see what else we have to play around. This is the main bass groove. So what is it? Like basically I click something together in Drift until I like the sound, and then I added this little modulation here to keep it evolving, and that's already it. I think we could add it on the 17th. Nah, it doesn't really work with this increase here. To be honest, I think we should shift all of this to here and then decline it again. Okay, this is already going somewhere. What else we have? We have here something that is a preset from Serum. It's called Classico. Just adding some interesting things. That would be something probably I used to add to the second part of the first main. That would be probably around here. And then it's a small breakdown that could be this here. this more. Okay, not bad at this moment. Basically the kick is something I think we can further work on. Just removing one kick here. And then maybe a double clap to keep it more intense. Okay, maybe two kicks. That would be like this. Or another way we can do is we can reverse kick audio. That I think is something. Let's listen to it in context. The double snare should not be right here. Probably like this better. Sorry. 1, 2, 3, like this. That sounds good. So let's fix this here. I think we can do this actually more often. So bounce this to audio, and then let's say maybe every second one will be like this. Maybe second every third in a loop. So 1, 1, 2, 3 would be this. 1, 2, 3 would be here. I like this very much. So let me also consolidate this part here so I can reuse it, give it another color so I can see that I reuse it. Let's maybe not do it here again. Let's think about something else here. But here would be cool before the elements will be added in again. Okay, we can try to remove some other elements. Let's see which ones would be interesting to remove. We'll loop this piece before here, the piece after that, and then see. I feel like there's already something missing. I mean, what I can also do is I can try to play around with the delay effect, because I already have them as sound effects. So I can easily just try to add something. Often on the clap, that's something where it is usually working out quite well. Yeah, something like this. Let's see. I like that, because then if I remove the clap afterwards and then it will be added in again, could be cool. Let's see if we can dial it in. Hi-hat, the straight hi-hat might as well
could use something like this, maybe something else. Okay. Let's try this. Yep, I think that's good. So those are various ways you can keep it interesting. So to summarize it, you can play around for this 4 hours. Like I don't know how much time I spend on this. So what we can do is you can add and remove elements by activating and deactivating them, and you can and you can use sound effects like delay and reverb, even other crazy things to build it up, and then take it away, and then keep it interesting. So these are 2 minutes, not many elements. I like this genre, very minimalistic. And I think from here I will think about a breakdown where I can use this cool MOOC. Okay, I feel like I need to filter it first to introduce it, because it's something completely new. Then I can add things towards the end before I give it the full power, including the beat. I think so. Afterwards I can add more elements, but not for now, but I will try them out. Okay, but at this point I don't want to use this, and I think they might collide with the other bass line, which we can easily just try out. Yeah, that could be something. I can introduce it here and then fade it out here. Something like this, see? Nah, this I don't like here. Let's finish this part. Does this work together? Nah, it doesn't fit. But here I can introduce it again. Okay. I'm wondering if this is working. Let's see. Let's listen to it in context. So these would be too loud, maybe too long. I feel like it needs more energy. Okay, maybe a bit more distortion. Reintroduce the piano. Might be going on for too long. Yeah, maybe we can just use pieces of it. For that we need to see that it's not clashing with the other bass. For example, here, there's nothing going on here. That also might be okay. Okay, for that we need to get rid of the low end. Okay, and maybe more reverb. I already have reverb. Okay, let's see if this works. can just recycle what we used in the beginning. But instead of going back in, I think this is where we should start with the outro already. So we're not introducing this one again. Something like this. I think arrangement wise it looks good. You have a long intro, you have some breakdown where the DJ can do the transition to the next song. Outro could be longer for the mixing, but it's already like over 4 minutes, way beyond the Spotify length. I will sleep a night over it and then listen to it again with fresh ears. But thanks again, I mean, this is the arrangement video. Hopefully you found it interesting, even though it's a very long video. Would like to hear from you how you do arrangements. You can see it's very experimental, that's why I did not cut a lot of this in this video, so you can see really it's like roughly like an hour of trying out things, even though you have all the elements when you start. But it's part of the fun, it's like puzzling. Alright, see you soon, bye.